Are you Mandalorian?
I'm a simple man making his way through the galaxy, like my father before me.
3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. Matthew, Dylan, Callan.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 36 of the 3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast. We've had a bit of a break. We've been under the weather. We've had COVID. We've had rain. We've had war. But joining me tonight, as always, are my two trusty and reliable co-pilots, sort of, Callan Gardner and Dylan Chikalis. Cal, how are you, my friend? It's good to see you.
Yes, it is good to be back, Matty. And trusty sort of is probably pretty accurate. I think we've all been that for the last sort of few weeks. I know I didn't even tell you, but I went away and went on holiday, couldn't do the pod. You had COVID for about 4 weeks. It felt like you had COVID for about 4 weeks.
It has felt like that. Like I did get an analogy from my good buddy Nick, because I'm very COVID conscious and I don't go outside much. I was doing all the right things, and he said, "Mate, your son and that daycare is your Death Star exhaust port, and the proton torpedoes got through." I'm like, "Fuck you."
Did you get both of you and your missus?
Yeah, we got absolutely hit for 6. And there's no calling in sick to looking after a child. Like, so you just have to get up, get on with it, keep him entertained. And I can't like drop him anywhere. I can't get any help. And so it's just sit there and be miserable. And then my wife and I are fighting. Oh, I'm more sick than you. It's like, well, there's no winner here.
Well, my wife thought she's got a better immune system than me. When I had COVID, she's like, I've just got a superior immune system. I was like, fucking hell. But did you get anything?
No, mate. I've been. You know what?
I'll
feel
send
like
you some over.
He's got the superior immune system because he's under duress at the moment.
I'm going to start calling myself the antibodies, because it doesn't. no matter how hard I try to get this thing, I just cannot. So basically, my sister's got it. Her boyfriend got it. We're in the same house. You know, we had been interacting with her during the infectious period because she didn't know. So she went out to a club on like a Saturday, and then she was symptomatic on the Monday, couldn't go to work, and came in at like 6 o'clock I think it was 3 o'clock in the morning to show me her test results. I'm like, get the fuck out of my room.
Yeah, it's like a simple text would suffice. I'm positive.
But
hey, look, I'm positive.
Oh man,
yeah.
But you know what? I actually said to myself, to get it over and done with, as weird as this sounds, can you just like spit on like a cloth or something?
Mate, my wife didn't, or kids didn't get it in the same household.
How? I don't get it.
I don't know. Yeah.
I thought I was asymptomatic because I was testing, every couple of days just to make sure. Nothing. Not a single thing. No symptoms. I'm all good. But anyway.
Oh, that's good. That's good to take that as good news, mate. That's good.
Well, mate,
Matty, how did it hit Santi? I'm wondering.
Well, he went to daycare. There was a daycare breach, and then it was scary. I was out, and I get his phone call. And my wife was hysterical, and Santi just woke up vomiting like the Exorcist baby, and just had. I'm pretty sure that's how she got it. And yeah, so she's called the ambulance, and they're not coming because it's like, is he breathing? He's like, yep. So we're not coming. So I rock up, and he's like, he's fine. And then we went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, he definitely doesn't have COVID. He's just got some sort of weird little,
like a bug.
Weird little bug. Don't worry, he's all right. Next day, test him COVID. So, oh dear. And then, my wife got it.
Was he really ill though?
No, he was fine. He was just a little bit strange for a couple of days, and then, no, never too bad. Like just managed the fever, and then my wife started to slow down. I'm like, oh dear, and I'm just like passing every rat test.
Waiting, hey.
I'm passing every rat test. I'm going, fuck yeah, I got the superior immune system. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm Wolverine. And then I'm feeding my son, and then you got that Babybel cheese, and then I stupidly ate half of his jelly. He was eating it, and then he's like, "Oh, you're not eating that. I'll eat that." And then I'm like, "Oh,
what have you done?
What have I done?" And then, but eventually, I'm pretty sure it was.
You were going to get it. You were going to get it.
It was inevitable. Like, we're all there. I stopped sleeping next to my wife. I tried to stay on the couch. I'm going to beat this, and then I woke up and I'm like,
yeah,
no, I'm fucked. And so, yeah.
Wow. Did you watch any Star Wars while you were off?
I have actually watched a bit of Star Wars. I went back to episode 1. It took me about a week to watch it, like, because I was watching about 20 minutes at a time.
Episode 1, the movie.
Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Yep.
And then when I'm looking after Santi as well, I'd turn it on upstairs, and then watching that in about 20-minute bursts. And I'm midway through Solo now, so I've watched 4.5 episodes in the past month or so.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's been pretty good. Nice to go back and enjoy, Revenge of the Sith. I'm actually keen to sort of give Bad Batch a go. We'll talk about Bad Batch a bit later. Some news on that front. What about you, Jill? I remember I sent you the meme about that was this. What was the Family Guy? And they were going, "Why does Palpatine have a desk? What's he doing? His new gun ray going to pitch a tent in my waiting room?"
And then
you've been watching it too.
I literally had finished watching Revenge of the Sith maybe half an hour before you sent me that meme, so it was a bit scary. I don't know if you're stalking my Disney Plus. I've taken that joke from you before the pod, but yeah, no, it was I'm so surprised how much of the movies I forget after not watching them for a long time. And Revenge of the Sith was one of those movies where I felt there are a lot of details that either maybe I was too young and I haven't rewatched it for a while, or maybe I've watched so much of the other bits of Star Wars that coming back to it, there's so much more that I understand. And, piecing together Anakin's turmoil and turn to the dark side, and I don't know. It's
a good point. It's a good point, actually. I should probably whip back.
Yeah, well,
you should know a bit if you're bloody on a Star Wars podcast.
You hope so, right?
There was always one that doesn't know, so you can. Yeah, but no, there's definitely like I watched all 3 prequels, and I've seen them heaps of times, but I was watching them, and there was just like 1-second scenes that I'd sort of forgotten. I'm like,
yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm like, was that new? Is this different dishes, the extended cut? I'm like, oh no. That rings a bell. But
there was one moment there's one moment when they're when Kenobi's in Utapau and he's climbing with what's the bird that he's on? Yeah. So he's climbing up the side of Utapau after Grievous and drops his saber. And of all people for it to land in front of, it lands in front of Cody.
Yeah.
That to me is just, I don't know. Out of every single clone that's down there, Cody's the one that it falls in front of. That's wild.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Commander Cody, and purchases, you live near Canley Vale, right? Don't you?
Do I live near Canley Vale?
No.
Yeah, I think it's along my train line.
Okay, because there's a Commander Cody pop for sale, pick up only.
Sake.
Let
me have a look.
I'll just check your Google map out and
Canley
fight
Vale.
this guy to the death for my next purchase.
It is
absolutely nowhere near.
It's a 45-minute drive. It's probably in the middle of both of us. Yeah.
Yeah, you're dreaming.
See, hold on. Where did I go to get your R2 all those years ago?
No, I don't know.
It was Liverpool, wasn't it? Back at Liverpool.
I thought you lived out that far.
I went all that way to get your R2, and that was probably like an hour and a bit drive. 40 minutes in the cows. Yeah, because I had to go through like some fucking weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I went some.
Don't you live near Liverpool?
We're about 40 minutes from Liverpool.
Yeah.
What?
Maybe more.
Where do you live? Campbelltown.
Camden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Camden.
Oh, fuck.
Campbelltown's like another 20-ish minutes away from me.
Okay, well, I saw Campbelltown. So, that's in the area, so that's nice and close. Well, why wouldn't you post the fucking pop? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Just go to the post office. Anyway, I'll find a more local Commander Cody.
Matt. Order a courier.
Why would I order a courier?
Star Trek courier to pick it up.
Star
Well,
Trek.
from work. That'll be a good way for
Yeah,
you
from
talking
work.
about work.
Yeah,
You know how we have Star Trek career for work?
reason for termination, career to pop. Yeah, probably not ideal. But yeah, I mean, let's talk Book of Boba Fett, because we were doing so well. We were 7 episodes in a row or 6 in a row, and then I was like, maybe we'll record tomorrow, and then tomorrow becomes next Sunday, and then Sundays I got COVID, then Callan just goes on holiday, and I just assumed he's not coming in, and then but no, it's good to connect with you guys now. It's been a while, but how's the Book of Boba Fett finale for
we couldn't
you?
have done the last episode without you. No.
No, you two just can't function without me. I thought maybe you'd get your shit together and put a new all-time low on the episode out.
Hold on. Haven't we done a pod, just you and I, before, Cal?
It
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
It's our lowest ever rated pod.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
It is. It's
right.
got the least views ever. And
Yeah, because it was the dry week in Star Wars.
no, it wasn't. It was the weekend of Moochie, the Rancor. There was plenty to talk about. Just and every time we get over like a certain amount of views, I'm like, yes, still the worst, you two. I actually get a lot of joy out of that. So, yep, it's them.
We'll bring it back to it. Don't worry.
It's
We'll be top
them.
shelf.
It's definitely them. 100% not me. You know. But Cal, tell me how the Book of Boba Fett finale was for you.
Yeah, I really, really liked it. It was a bit of a there's a bit of seeing an X-wing. I loved that. You know, all those bits and pieces we'll get to. But man, it was a good ep. A lot of good fighting, which I felt like I hadn't seen a lot of this season. So even old buddy Boba got out there and started kicking a bit of ass, which I was
I'm
loving.
sure you would have loved that bit where Boba and Din just get really hard and
Yeah.
really start kicking butt.
Yeah, the bit of jetpack we used was always happy to see
Yeah,
that.
that was cool.
But it was, and overall, I really like the app. It'll open up a lot more questions for me. But yeah,
Do you think there's going to be a season 2?
I'm not sure. I'm not sold. I think there will be, but I'm not. I don't know what capacity.
What kind of season is there? It's going to be the Book of Cobb Vanth, or it's just it's ended a little strange. Like spoiler alert, Cobb Vanth lives.
Yeah.
Why do they pretend like he's dead? Like
Yeah, it's like we just won't talk about it.
he's been gunned down in cold blood in the shoulder, and then so that was a bit weird. But Dill, how was it for you, buddy? What did you think?
I think pretty much the same with Cal, but the thing that stood out for me was the fight with Cad Bane.
Mm-hmm.
The duel.
Is he dead?
No, well,
Yeah, he's gone ski.
I don't think so. A lot of the people have pointed out that his monitor
beeping.
on his it's still beeping.
Why would they linger over him and then it beep?
Mm.
Oh yeah, I guess you got
And
the
plus,
mods. The mods will probably fix him.
It's Star Wars. No one ever fucking dies.
Yeah, that's true.
No one's ever really gone.
Except for Biggs. Biggs, mate, you're gone, okay? You are incinerated into nothing. Biggs and Porkins, gone. Everyone else, fair game.
Mate is
Wait,
coming back.
Is that safe to say? Yeah, I was going to say, is that safe to say that the Gamorreans that fell off the cliff are coming
They're
back?
gone. No one.
Yeah.
There's not enough Bacta in that tank.
I was devastated with that.
Dude, I was so upset. And then the squeal that they let out. Oh, man.
Hey, quickly, his only move was to quickly pull up the mic and go, "We're fucked. We're fucked. We're fucked. We're fucked." Yeah.
But getting back to earlier in the episode, how do you feel about Luke Skywalker? And he made him choose, and then he chooses Din, and he just chucks him in an X-wing Uber. Says, "Get the fuck out of here!" Just chucks him in. I'm not even going to give you a lift. Just go.
I reckon there's more to that. Obviously, there will be definitely. There either is no more, or there is definitely more.
What if Grogu picked up the saber, and he's still got the saber, and he killed Luke, and then stole the X-wing?
It's times like this that I don't miss not doing podcasts every week. Wow,
No,
that is
do
that
you
is your
reckon we'll-
worst ever.
Did you reckon
I'm
we'll ever find out
serious.
how that scene went?
Yeah, I think they'll do it. They'll explore in Mando.
Will they?
So to go back to your question to Cal about does he think there'll be a sequel? I don't think so because it's setting up a lot. Like, I think it's setting up for Boba to then, or Cobb Vanth to look after Tatooine.
To just look after Tatooine's.
Correct. Look after Tatooine. Boba can now join the Mandoverse and go on their adventures, and we'll focus on Grogu and Mando again.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to say, you have this, I don't fucking want to be a what does he call himself?
Daimyo.
Yeah, I feel like he's not going to want to be that.
Well, he said he didn't want to, I think.
Like he said we're not cut out for this at the end. Yeah. So and everyone starts like adoringly loving him, and I mean, look, do you think that the Mando episode and the Luke Skywalker episode, I mean, as good as they were, sort of took the focus off the show a bit, like in that?
Yeah, for sure.
The Pikes, they didn't really feel like the most villainous, scary creatures, like.
But they started to. I actually thought they were going to make them
when they brought out the droidicas and shit. That was like that put them on a bit more of a pedestal. Before that, they were just little pea shooter guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but even towards the end here, right? So, but besides that, what else did they do? Like they're made to be this like mafia level. What do you want to call them? Like company?
Yeah,
that just smuggle, kill, no mercy, and they're just weak. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, and do you think Cad Bane came too late in the show? Like, he could have been doing that from episode 3 or 4. Like he was captivating. He was villainous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I loved my little taste of Mando, and seeing Luke Skywalker was just insane. But then, like, you sort of, it's hard to follow that, especially with the finale. And, we got what we got, and it was good. And you sort of expected it was going to be street fight. I don't understand how, they've got 10 people, and then all of a sudden, like, well, if we get the people of Mos Pelgo, that sort of will tip the scales in our favour. I mean, how small is this fight going on?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought the exact same thing. I thought, where are the same people? This is basically an alley brawl.
Yeah,
that has then ended the whole war. But so going back to your question, Matt, if we finished Book of Boba Fett on episode 5 with this final episode that we just got, and then they had 2 bonus episodes where it was the Mando Luke episode at the end of the series, how would you feel about that?
No, well, they needed to, obviously, for Grogu to come back so he could fall asleep next to the Rancor and save the day to a certain degree.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I felt like they could have just, this war sort of like, we're going to war they're preparing for war, and then we had 2 episodes.
3 episodes later.
And then the war is just a fight in the small little street fight, and then a couple of droids come out. And I just, it could have just been built up a little bit more. Like, it's just had a strange vibe to it. Like,
it's like a pause. It's like a pause mid-season type thing. I think it's going to make more sense when Mando comes out for them to have to why they did it. Surely,
like, because it's still talk that Mando's still being recorded, and it's looking likely to be end of this year.
Really?
Yeah, all these rumors like, like we're not going to get Mando for a long time, so they thought let's get an episode of Mando into this season somehow. I don't know. I mean, look, overall, where do you think the show's going next?
Boba Fett. I think sort of said, I think they're going to move it into the Mandoverse. They're going to move it. They're surely not going to do Book of Boba 2, Chapter 2 or whatever. Like, that just doesn't really make much sense. I think old Bob is going to be like, oh yeah, I'll come shoot some shit or do his own thing. And maybe we'll just get pushed to the side.
Do we then see
his way fucking better?
I think I saw a little while ago, like your book of whoever, right? Could they do similar stuff like this for Bo-Katan, people like that? You know, Sabine, Book of Sabine or whatever, and essentially make big chapters of, you know, all these different characters, and then with your Mando, it's almost like the Mandalorian is where everyone comes together, but everyone has a spin-off.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, like, you know, there's obviously big fans out there who are like, oh, can't wait for the Book of Boba Fett, and they're going to get 7 episodes of just non-stop Boba Fett, and they go, we got 5. And I feel like I heard someone say that it would have made a lot more sense if it was called The Mandalorian, and then underneath it, like, the Book of Boba Fett. Because, like, saying, oh, you know, because, I mean, the way it's positioned, the Book of Boba Fett, you think you're going to get just Boba Fett stuff, like, and then, you know, we just threw in some Mando, we threw in some Luke Skywalker. So it just felt all over the place in a good way. Like, loved it, but I felt that it also took away from Boba's story as well. Like, 'cause I mean, when I haven't watched it all from end to end yet. I'll find some time, but you know, it was good how it built up the story. And I you know, Scotty Chapman, our buddy, he messaged me going, "Oh, can I have your Disney Plus password now? I'm ready to watch Book of Boba Fett." And he finished it in 2 days. He loved it. You know, no pause, no waiting. I haven't followed up on the Luke Skywalker episodes, but he said it was great. And I said, just persevere because it's a slow burn. Because I mean, Simon, my other mate, he loves Mandalorian, but he's like, he started watching 10 minutes of this. He goes, it's a bit slow. Don't think I'll watch it. I'm like, no, you have to watch it because if you don't, Mando season 3 is going to be a little bit on the weird side.
Might make sense.
You know, you need to watch it. Otherwise, unless they do some sort of super quick recap or they just replay the episode.
Well, you think back, like, it really gave us so much backstory of Boba, and like this backstory is slow. Do you know what I mean? To build him up.
And
then
backstory.
Right when they started kicking him off, they went, let's switch to Mando for a whole episode. But I don't know. I wasn't mad about it. Like you said, I wasn't mad about it.
I wasn't mad, but it's just odd that.
Well, there's a couple of things. The Creed, when he went on that episode, he talked about the Creed and going to see, you know, to the bottom of that pit to get, because he took his helmet off or whatever. And then when he was talking to Boba in this episode, he said, it's the Creed. And he goes, you don't believe in that bantha fodder. And you know what I mean? He's like, I do, basically. He's like, I'm glad you do. So I think there's something there that'll come in later. So I think it all plays in.
No, I like that comment because, you know, Boba and Mando are 2 Mandalorians without sort of a tribe or a family. Yeah. And they sort of, whereas Boba is the anti-Mandalorian. Like, he's just, I know it, but I think it's all shit. But he also knows it. Like, he's like, I guess you're heading off. And then he's like, no, I'm here with you to the end. He's like, oh, do you believe in that stuff? He's like, yep. It's like, great. I need you. I need a mate. I can't do it without you. So you sort of think, you know, the 2 of them are going to have a role to play side by side as things go on. I mean,
because my immediate thought was that it's going to go to Mandalore with both of them. But
I wouldn't be mad about that.
I think there's still some gaps to fill before we get there.
Oh, there's a lot of gaps to fill before Mandalore. Like, you know, you got the whole civil war that could happen between Bo-Katan and Sabine and all the clans, and unifying them and sort of seeing them in live action will be mental.
I will love that.
Do you ever think we'll get anything better than Rebels, Matt? Even though it's, you know, cartoon?
Anything better in what sense?
Like, I think the story that they built in Rebels is yet to be beat.
I was listening to various people talk about this, and they're saying, you know, Rebels had, as good as Rebels was, and I agree with them, like, there was some nothing episodes, not filler episodes, but just arcs of,
for sure,
very tame, weak arcs. But they also had
like any long,
fantastic.
Yeah, like any long cartoon, though, they're gonna go off on arcs and fillers just to fill the series out. Otherwise, they could do it in half the time. And I don't know why, but you know, obviously they're not making the money that way. But
they're saying that Clone Wars was better overall, but the highs and lows of Rebels were better than Clone Wars. So, like, when they were both at their best, Rebels was better. But overall, they felt Clone Wars, especially with the Clone Wars, the way, you know, that extra season, well, the last 4 episodes of the final season, Siege of Mandalore was just, you know, that was top tier Star Wars as well. So, especially the way
Twilight Apprentice was.
Oh, that's about as good as it gets.
Unreal. Yeah.
I told Brinkat to watch the other day, and he watched. He's like, "Holy fuck! Is that Kanan and Ezra and Ahsoka and Maul fighting 4 Inquisitors?" I'm like, yes. It's like, and then he fights Vader. He's like, yes. It's like, whoa, that's a lot of Star Wars. It's like that was like the 6th episode of Boba Fett. Like, you had there was all those cameos, and it's exciting. And what do we? What's
so where would you put this episode? Today's the 3rd of the 6th. Where would you put Boba season finale in your ratings, and then what would you give the series as a whole, Matt?
Yeah, I thought it was either like the 3rd or 4th best episode, maybe in the middle. It was good. It just wasn't gratifyingly, like, I don't know. It's hard, like, you know. Season 1 Mando was a good, not cliffhanger, but Darksaber, holy fuck, you know, IG-88 sacrifice, IG-88 on a speeder bike taking out everyone. It was insanely good, like, and then Luke Skywalker coming back was just, you know, another level or insane. And this was the tamest of the 3, you know, like, finishes with, you know, Boba chucking a fruit at that chrysanthemum, like, and then they pans to the sky, like, I saw Josh Chapman, he put the Full House music on the end. It's like, hey, you look. It's like a very friendly vibe episode, and
the Rancor Grogu was sick. Like, that was
good. It was good, and there was the do it. Like, there was good. There was great moments. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah, it was up and down.
Like, the fight seemed like it went on for a bit long as well.
Fucking hate the mods, man. They're the stupidest fucking things that were ever. It's like, oh, they're all, every time they're on the screen, I'm like, I could run faster than that. Like, they're so fucking slow.
What's with the chick? She's got a fake arm or something, or a gimp arm, but she doesn't use it for anything. It's just ornamental.
They're always very dramatic when they talk.
Aesthetic.
They're really dramatic, and they do that. And I think who said the meme? The twirl. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, the twirl shoot.
The Jason Derulo.
But hold on, what about the fucking Boba? I reckon this was cool though. He's, you know, shoot across his body and then the knee across the other side. When they were fighting the pikes.
Yeah, that was good. But the
that
twirl
seems tactful. But the twirl was like, hold on, stop! I got to twirl before I shoot.
I don't mind. I mean, I'm not going to rip it to shreds. I was just like, reeling. Actually, it's funny. I actually think the Robert Rodriguez episodes were the worst of the series. Like, he did number 1, which was number 2 was great. Number 3, which he did with the Vespers, like again. Number 4 was really good. 5 was like Mando good. 6 deep fake good, and 7 was just you know. And then people are saying, "Oh, Robert Rodriguez he doesn't have it." You know, like everyone seems to be in this unifying agreement that you know, his episodes weren't as strong as some of the others.
Yeah, the fucking Power Rangers, they're fucking stupid, man. They were just dumb. They just stand there like waiting to say a one-liner. It was there was that scene at the very start when he's like, oh, we'll go back to Jabba's palace. We'll go back to Jabba's palace to sort of hang out. And the chick just goes, she says this, I can't remember the bullshit she said. I nearly turned it off. She was so dramatic how she said, you can't leave here. It's like, shut up. You're just, they're not scary, and it's just, they try to be. It just, does my head in.
What do you think about Boba Fett when he's like, got to go to the palace and fortify?
That's what I said. Yeah.
You're
off getting a bit of drink of water. Yeah, that's exactly. It was just
Okay. Oops.
But one of my favorite things is the Twi'lek, the fucking dude. What's his name? The
mayor's Major Domo.
Oh my fucking god, man! He makes me laugh so much. They got his comedy right, and it wasn't too stupid when he was reading the tablet and Boba pranked him. That was fucking funny.
Actually, I like the bit where he and Pelimoto are screaming.
Yeah.
And they actually have a bit of history, those two, in different shows.
Yeah, they used to do... Yeah, what was that show called?
I'm not sure, but I saw the picture.
Fuck, it looks ancient. How old are they?
They're pretty old.
Yeah.
But I think the show was set in the 50s, so it wasn't in the 50s. It was just set so it looked that way. But look, no, it was good overall. Cat Deal, what did you think, mate? Where does it sit for you?
The episode itself was probably in the middle again for me. It had a lot of highs, but then it just didn't have that finale kicker that I was looking for. And
it's like they rounded it out type thing.
Yeah. And I think the series as a whole, if I was to give it like a proper rating, probably a B.
Yeah, B.
Like I wasn't amazed throughout, but I also wasn't let down. So I'll give it a solid B.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It was decent. There was some decent highs, some awesome bits, but it wasn't like Mando. I was like, we're watching that the moment it comes out. This is like, that's sort of my radar. A few days, I'll be like, oh yeah, cool. Fuck, I better watch that. I got a podcast on Sunday.
It's not a matter of yeah, I'm gonna watch it. It's oh fuck, I got the pod to do. Shit.
No, you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
like,
there were 2 episodes this season that Cal watched the episode on the Sunday before the pod. He's like, oh yeah, I just watched it for the first time. Oh fuck, whoops. That's right. For the first 2 weeks, he didn't even know it was on Wednesdays. He's like, is it on Wednesdays now? I'm like, Jesus. But no, it was good. B for me. B for me.
Yep.
Yeah, I was never the biggest Boba Fett fan. Like, I mean, I enjoyed him, and when this show is mentioned, like, more Star Wars is good Star Wars. Like, I like the Tusken story backline. I think I like it more back to back, where you don't have to stop and wait a week. Like, because I like that backstory. Like, and as a 2-hour movie sort of thing, it actually, you got the backstory, you got train, and then the Vespers, and then episode 4, that was good deep Star Wars. And then I can watch that Luke Skywalker and the Mando episode over and over again, like just keeping me pumped for this thing. I don't know where it's gonna go though. Like there's room.
It's
for
very open.
It is. They haven't really closed off or signed off on anything, and they haven't really shut the door. They're very open. So you've got Cobb Vanth repairing.
You've got Cad Bane potentially not being dead. You've got Grogu's off doing something with Din. Boba, we don't know where Boba's gone with Fennec at this rate. They're still on Tatooine at the moment. Chrysanthemum, is he going to go off with Boba?
He's going to put a hair in the Bacta tank.
Ugh. So it's going to be like, it's going to need a plug.
What if Cobb Vanth's like, they've got him in the Bacta tank and he's just drowning because it's all clogged up with Chrysanthemum's hair.
I saw the, you should watch the Honest Trailers, Book of Boba Fett. It's actually quite funny. Have you seen it?
I usually watch the How It Should Have Ended ones. Yeah, I don't know if they've done one for Boba Fett.
Honest Trailer's good. It makes fun of everything, and like it just says, the Book of Boba Fett, where Boba Fett constantly asks to take a meeting, and like it's like make a meeting. Have we got a meeting? Have you got a meeting? And there's like, and if he's not taking meetings, he's talking about baths. Nice hot one, back to tank. I owe you a bath, and like it's just non-stop bath talk or back to tank. And I'll put the link in the bio for this episode. It's actually quite funny, and we all like to be a little bit lighthearted and not take things too seriously. And that humor is pretty good. But let's move on to something that we would 150% watch the second it comes out, and that is the Kenobi show.
Kenobi!
Yeah, I'm pumped for that.
Man.
So I heard a little rumor we might get a cheeky little. I read a rumor for the March 9th or 10th. There might be a cheeky trailer drop.
Oh, let's not do this again.
Yeah, don't get my hopes up, Cal.
This always happens. It's always like,
first.
oh, on social media, I heard this rumor too. Like, we might be getting a trailer, and then every time we think we're getting a trailer and we don't, it's just painful.
We don't.
I was invited to go on Star Wars, but
we'll find out
about
next week.
all the goodness of what was it, D23, and there was nothing. And I still remember Josh was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. There's no show." So yeah, well, let's just see what happens. Like, they tend to put the trailer out a month before the show's due to air, and we're 2 and a bit months out. But look, if it does come out, great. I can't wait. We'll dissect that thing second by second, frame by frame. We'll turn a 1-minute trailer into a 2-hour episode. We'll make Eric Volson excited. But no, I'm hearing good things about Kenobi. What are we are 25.
Matt, turn your cam off.
The connection has become unstable. So we're about 90 days away from Kenobi. Oh, no, is it more? 25? So yeah, about 85 days away from Kenobi. That's pretty exciting. I'm hearing things. There's going to be not just one fight with Vader. There's going to be 2.
Oh,
yeah.
And John Williams is doing the score.
Yep.
That's pretty huge.
Very exciting.
That is true. Yes. Very funny. I sent it to all you guys. I made to the Scruffy Looking
the article. Yeah.
Having a chat about John Williams. Just turned.
Oh
91.
yeah, this. Yeah.
So that was good fun. They're rapidly becoming my favorite podcast to listen to. The banter levels on there just next level. But I'm also hearing Qui-Gon Jinn is going to make an appearance.
That's cool
as well.
That's really fucking cool.
It's funny because I was going after watching, and we'll get to this in a little bit. After watching Batman the other day, I went. Me has never watched the original Batman with Christian Bale, so I'm taking her through. Batman Begins, and Liam Neeson playing Dukhan or whatever at the start.
Ra's al Ghul.
In the Ra's al Ghul, yep. He's playing the exact same character as he does Qui-Gon. It's teaching his apprentice, and just even the ways he talks about you, understand your, don't fight with your emotions, all that kind of thing. It was very funny.
But he's also evil.
Yeah, that is evil, but
evil Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Although if Qui-Gon had gone and just looked for the parts from a Jawa who seems to find anything on Tatooine, we would have skipped the gambling and the Anakin Skywalker.
If Qui-Gon didn't have Imperial credits.
Republic credits.
Imperial credits.
Republic credits. Anyway. But moving on. Now, there's been talk of a John Watts, who's the guy who directed Spider-Man, Marvel ones, the ones that Callan's never seen, and the ones that have done really, really well. There's a show in the works, a High Republic show called calling it The Stranger Things in Space. It's about 4 kids and some adult. And yeah, it's in development, and it's got the code name Grammar Rodeo. So
where's my fucking Old Republic? Fuck.
High Republic's just as good, I reckon.
I
want to see fucking Knights.
You're our Tom Chansky New Republic or High Republic book reading.
Yeah, well, that's been on hold for a hot minute, but I really like where it could possibly go. The High Republic. There's just a massive new world. It's just a new timeline that's going to be pretty sick.
Yeah.
and I think they can build some pretty awesome characters out of it. So far, it's the books are pretty good.
That's good, mate. It's good. Speaking of books, I actually tried to. I drove to Tamworth to pick up my new dog.
Wait, you got a new dog?
I got a new dog. Yes,
Another corgi.
Another corgi.
Wow. What's his name or her?
We're working it out. It might be Pax again. But I said to myself, "This is it. I'm going to listen to Thrawn. I got 10 hours. I'll finish it back to back in one car ride." And I left at 3 a.m. because I had to get there at 9 a.m. and then get back and I couldn't do it. I was listening to Thrawn for about an hour and a half, and it was just not putting me to sleep. I was too relaxed, and I needed to be sort of buzzing on the road,
yeah.
And it just didn't work. And then I ended up listening to 7 hours of Scruffy Looking podcast. It's just I listened to the episode with Steele, Eric Struthers, Emily Lind, and then their sort of pre-Rise of Skywalker prediction show. It was just fucking hilarious, and it was like the energy I needed to sort of distract me from how boring the road was. And yeah, so did not complete the Thrawn mission, but I also lived, so that was worth it.
Should we call you
I was seriously just like looking at the road, and I was like, nah,
it'll do that to you. Yeah, you don't want to. It's a lot of detail in those books, man.
It is like you have like it seriously puts me to sleep. Not that it's so boring. It's just that you're relaxed and I just need to put together some time now and then. I'm struggling. I should just read the book. I think I had better luck with the books when I was reading.
Probably the hard copies.
But other news is that Bad Batch, this sort of hasn't been confirmed yet, but it was due to be released this year. And I saw it on the Disney Plus advertisements recently, but there's a rumor, not a rumor, someone noticed that it's been taken off the slate for 2022. So we might not be seeing it this year. Thoughts, Cal?
That's a little bit annoying, but I guess you understand it with just the amount of shit that's coming out at the moment. Like, there's a lot of Star Wars coming out this year. The Bad Batch would have been a sweet little kicker if we didn't get Mando. Like, do you know what I mean? It would have been good to have it.
Well, that's the thing. So we're getting Kenobi May 25, but you know that's a good 3 months between things. You know, like
what about Andor? Like when's that coming?
You think if Kenobi is May 25, that'll go to midway through June. May, June, July. So midway through June, because there's only 6 episodes. So May 25th, 4 weeks in June, and then the first week of July, it's over. Andor's 12 or 14 episodes, I believe, and it's getting a season 2. So 12 episodes means it's going to be 3 months. So if they take like a month off, they can sort of start it in early or mid-July, and that'll run through the end of October. And then you've got a couple of weeks or a month before Mando comes out.
So I would be happy with that timeline.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind Bad Batch pushing to next year.
Well, I just don't think they can. I mean, it would have been perfect to have Bad Batch now, like sort of bridge the wall.
Yep.
That's when it would have been key, like, you know, especially because, you know, it's cartoon. You don't need to take it too seriously. You can check it, you know, you can watch it, enjoy it. Talk to Omega and Wrecker. And Rika. It's been a while since I miss that little girl. That's why I want to go back and watch it now that I've seen Revenge of the Sith. I feel like I've been in the mood for a bit of Bad Batch just to catch up. Doesn't take long.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll see. Let's wrap things up, guys. Dill, give us your spoiler-free Batman review.
Oh, it was pleasant. It was a pleasant surprise for an expectation that I set pretty low. So
yeah,
they took a more realistic approach to, I think, Batman, and you get to know Batman a lot more rather than Bruce Wayne. There's a few good pop-ups near the end. I won't spoil what they are. But the next movies that they're going to do should be pretty good, and it's left a lot open, so I'm very excited. If I was to give it a score, you know, on a number scale,
what's your?
I'm going to give it a 9. And the only reason I haven't given it a 10, Cal, are you going to go watch it?
No, the movies, absolutely not.
All right, Matt, are you going to watch it?
I will do my best. I'm trying to find time. I think I'll do it while my wife is working, and I'll have a meeting for 2.5 meeting at Quarry Centre.
When you watch it, there are moments that aren't very Batman, traditional Batman, and that's why we'll discuss them when you've watched it. But that's why I haven't given it a 10. It's been super nitpicky because you look at people like IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. There's a few other sources who have given it, you know, perfect scores, which you don't see often from a big movie. There's someone in some news gave it a 4.5, and the reason they didn't give it a 5 was because it's a fucking 3-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's a good watch. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay, I will. I'll give it my attention. I definitely want to see it. Just need to find time. I'm allowed to go outside, which is good, and mingle with the public in a non-perversely sick manner. But no, it's been good to catch up. I mean, fuck, I missed you guys. I actually was pretty close to pulling the pin tonight because I'm fucking exhausted at 9 o'clock every night. I just don't feel like myself. I feel like my lungs are just a little bit underperforming. Tired. Me and my wife watch TV around 9:30 after everything's done, and by 9:45 I'm just like dead on the couch, and my wife just like pokes me like at 11 saying, all right, time for bed. I'm like, what do we watch? She's like, you watch nothing.
I'm going straight to bed after this as well, mate. I'm bloody buggered.
But no, it's been good. Next couple of weeks we will have guests to fill the space, and I've been chatting to Eric Struthers. We've been trying to make a time, so looking forward to that. Steele is back in the US, so I will hit him up and we will book in a time, and that should be really exciting to have him on the podcast as well. Turbo will be back, and yeah, there'll be lots of styles to talk about. Rogue Squadron still on track for 2023. Hasn't been removed from the December timeframe, so it seems to be on track. So that'll be interesting. But I look forward to catching up with you guys next week, most likely. And until then, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with all of us.
I really fucked that up. May the Force be with all.
What'd you say?
Forget it.